to observe your breath, right? We always say this, but it's just kind of a way for you to come into your body, see how you're breathing today, and see how your body is feeling. So just start to take some deep inhales and exhales, not trying to manipulate it in any particular way yet. Let the eyebrows soften, let the tailbone relax down. And then I want you to start to float your arms up to the ceiling. You can kind of blink your eyes open if they were closed. And you're just gonna start to inhale, open the arms to like the width of your mat, and then exhale, you're gonna close them right back over the shoulders. So inhale, they'll open, and exhale, they'll close. And then just starting to feel like your arms are kind of mimicking your rib cage. So as you inhale, think about the rib cage expanding laterally, and as you exhale, closing the belly in, closing the arms right over the shoulders. Let's just go for 4 more of those. Exhaling out through the mouth as the diaphragm pulls in. Last 3. Last 2. And then last one. Now keeping the arms parallel, right over the shoulders, you're gonna start to float them overhead behind you as you inhale. Exhale, pull them right back over the shoulders. And then you can start to let this grow. This is to kind of bring some movement into the shoulder girdle. But I also want you to start to take notice of your torso. So as those arms reach overhead, think about keeping the rib cage pulling down towards the mat. So I don't want to see the rib cages flare too much. And if your rib cage starts to pop open, either just start to connect with those abs a little bit more, or maybe the arms just don't reach back overhead. The flexibility might not be there today, or it might be. And maybe as you get moving a little bit more, you can increase the range of motion. Let's just go for 4 like that. Last 3. Last 2. And then I want you to inhale, reach those arms back overhead, and then let's let them drop behind you on the floor. And then you're gonna start to bend your elbows wide to a cactus position, just kind of feeling your chest open, and then reach them, slide them back towards your ears. So you can kind of drag the hands along the mat. If your shoulders are not feeling good, then you can have them hovering to a place that doesn't feel like it's agitating your shoulder. But just kind of enjoy this for what it is, a nice chest opener, a shoulder stretch. Go for 3 more like that. Last 2. Feeling the traps pulled down away from your ears. Last 1. And then just hold that cactus position, and then just take some deep breaths here, letting the upper body relax a little bit more. Letting the arms be nice and heavy. I want you to start to look over your left shoulder and then just pause, getting a stretch through the right side of your neck. Let the shoulder drop down, and just take some deep breaths to let the left ear heavy. And then you come through center, just go to the other side. Come through center, and then you're gonna interlace your hands behind your head. We're gonna get going with our first ab section. So first things first, right? Make sure the elbows are pointing up to the ceiling. And then I always like to kind of tuck my chin in a little bit more, a really cute little double chin, just to make sure the neck is nice and long. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, you're gonna nod and curl forward, coming into your just first little ab crunch, and then inhale, release back down. And you're just gonna keep going like that for a few breaths. Good. Yeah, making sure the head is really heavy in those hands. And if you ever feel like the neck is starting to tense up a little bit, just give your head a little shrug or shake, nod, whatever you want to call it. Let's go for 8 more of these. Let's go for 5 more. 4. 3. Keep pulling the abs down and back, making sure the abs aren't puffing up to the ceiling. And then curl up and then hold your curl. From here, you're gonna find a pelvic tilt little moment. So I want you to think about almost lengthening your butt down away from your nose on the inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna tuck your tailbone, like a little low ab curl. Inhale, release your tailbone into neutral. Exhale, you tuck. So imagine you have a little blueberry underneath your low back, and as you inhale, you're trying to let that bloob like breathe, and as you exhale, you're trying to crush the bloob. Bloob. Let's go for 8. 7, and then see if you can curl your chest a little bit higher. 6, 5, 3, 2, and then I want you to hold your neutral position, and then you're gonna finish with 10 pulses of your chest up for 10. 9, think about squeezing your ribcage together. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend your head back. Just take a breath here. We're gonna do all of that again now with legs and tabletop. If that doesn't feel Gucci, just keep the feet down. So when you're ready, keeping the head down to start, just float your legs into tabletop and hold. So knees right over the hips. And then wrap those armpits up to the sky, start to curl forward. You have 10 curls. Let's go for 6. Last 4. And last 2. And then stay curled forward. You're gonna find your pelvic tuck. So think about letting your tailbone drop. Exhale, tuck for 8. A lot of low abs here. Deep exhales. Let's go for 5. Last 3. 2. Woo, hold your neutral spine. 10 pulses of your chest up. 10. Deep exhales. 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees into your chest, let your head drop, and then you're just gonna make some circles on the mat with your sacrum. So massaging the sacrum, that part of your spine where the bones are all fused, so giving it a little circular motion. Good. All right. Once again, legs come into tabletop, head's gonna stay down for this next series. So once your legs are in tabletop, you're gonna float those arms up over your shoulders, and then you're gonna start to reach your left leg long to 45 degrees, and then bring it back in, and then your right leg long to 45 degrees. So if your low back ever gives you any grief here, just give yourself a little imprinted spine so that your low back is lengthening down towards the mat. That's totally fine. If you're wanting a little bit more advanced, make sure there's that little blueberry underneath your sacrum, or underneath your low back rather. And then adding the arms into it, since we warmed up our shoulders already, you're gonna start to take opposite arm reaching overhead. So left arm, right leg, exhale, everything comes back, right arm, left leg. I personally like to exhale to draw everything back in because it reminds me to knit my ribs together and pull the belly down. But if you prefer the opposite breathing pattern, that's totally cool as long as it's very intentional, right? Let's go for 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. And then I want you to meet me with your right leg long, left arm up overhead. From here, you're gonna open that right leg out 3 inches. Exhale, squeeze it back in. And then you're gonna go for the same movement with that left arm. So abduction, so things are reaching out to the side, adduction, everything's pulling back into center. Let's go for 8 of these. Same concept of pulling the navel in, drawing things into the midline. Last 6. Good. 5. Coordination station. 4. 3. Keep pulling the low belly in. Last 2. Last 1. We're gonna go right into the other side. If you need to take a rest, live your life. Extend your left leg, right arm up overhead. Opening to the left with that left leg, right arm goes to the right. Exhale, everything comes back in. Brushing the drawers of my dresser. Let's go for 7. 6. Keeping the right thigh still and only opening that left leg as far as your abs can take it. Last 4. 3. Yes, last 2. Last 1. That's it. Hug your knees into your chest. Woo. Now keeping the hands on the knees. You're going to stir the pot. My favorite thing. You're going to open your knees in opposite directions and then circle them back together. So manipulating the thigh bones with the arms. Legs just kind of be relaxed. And then reverse those circles, stirring in the opposite direction when you're ready. All right, keep the right knee into the chest, and then I want you to reach your left leg longer to take a little hip flexor stretch. So send energy out through that left heel. So flex the left foot nice and strong. And then feel like someone's pulling you from your heel out in front of you. So someone's kind of lengthening that left thigh out of your body. You'll feel a little extra stretch moment in that left hip. And then just breathe here. If you want to get a little bit deeper into the inner thighs and maybe a little bit more hippy, you could open that right thigh out to the right armpit. And then come back to center. You're going to cross that over to the left, taking a supine twist and open that right arm out to the right. Oh my gosh. It's not Pilates, but a supine twist, in my opinion. Come back to center, stretch that bad boy out long, switch sides, left leg into the chest, send energy up your right heel, someone's pulling your right leg. And then if you want to go a little deeper, you can try that opening out to the left with that left thigh, or you can stay in center. And then cross it over to the right. Open your left shoulder and gaze over that left shoulder. Absolutely stunning. Come back to center. Extend both legs long. And then reach your arms up towards the ceiling for me like a zombie. We're going to take a few roll-ups. So take a breath in here. As you exhale, nod your chin to your chest, flex your feet, and then start to roll yourself all the way up to seated. And then just go ahead and stack up tall like you're sitting in a chair. Best posture of your life. And then you're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone and roll back. Bone, thigh bone, thigh bone. Good. And then once you get your head on the mat, you can reach your arms overhead, taking a full body stretch. Exhale, knit the ribs together, arms fold up, peeling up. And then I can tell you my articulation this morning is not the best. So just be like gentle with yourself. Just try to connect to your core and try to make this as loosey-goosey as possible. And in those spots of the spine that feel like they're not getting full articulation, mine's personally like my low back area, just see if you can C-curve a little bit more than you think is physically possible. That always kind of helps, really cinching that belly in. Just go for like one more here. Yeah, looking good. And then next time you are up, no rush. We're just gonna take a full-on forward fold. So dive over your legs, reaching for your ankles, feet, whatever. And then just rounding your chin in towards your chest, letting the back of the neck elongate. Take 2 more breaths here. Okay. All right, you guys are gonna prop yourself onto your left side. And then you're going to lie down with your left hand underneath your head, like we're having some pillow talk moments here. And then you're gonna bring your right foot in front of your left thigh. So I like to kind of hold on to that ankle to start. And then you're gonna reach that left leg long. We're gonna start with a little sideline inner thigh work here. So start with just feeling the left leg reaching out of the body, and then you're gonna float it up and then bring it back down. Good. That right hand can be wherever feels helpful. Some people like to hold on to that front shin, or for like a little balance check, making sure you're keeping the abs engaged, you can kind of use it as like a kickstand in front of you. And if this hurts your neck for whatever reason, you can lay all the way down your bicep. And then starting to notice if you're rolling towards that left butt cheek, right? So I want you to almost think about pressing your right hip slightly more forward, and then make sure your left toes are pointing straight in front of you and that they're not pointing up to the ceiling. Good. Let's go for 5 more. Keep hugging the abs in for 3, 2. Good. And then lift that leg up and then hold it lifted. Good. See if you can lift it 1 inch higher. This one always burns, right? You're going to start to make some circles with that left leg, really small, like smaller, like the size of a penny. Good. Focusing on lifting up rather than circling down. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Reverse those circles. Woo! What a feeling. What a time. Go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. Good. And then tiny pulses up, just in center. Good. I love it. Go for 10. Woo! 9, 8. I'm going to do this in a minute. 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3, 2. Lift up and hold and breathe. Lift 1 inch higher. And then relax all the way down. Woo! Okay. What a blast. Lie all the way down on your left bicep. We're going to do a little bit of oblique curls. So reach both legs long so that your legs are stacked on top of each other. And then bring your right hand in front of your chest. Lift your abs up and in so you're already kind of feeling this lift underneath your left oblique. And then you're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to lift both legs up off of the mat and then lower them back down. Good. So, I mean, we just worked that left inner thigh. So you're going to feel this in that left inner thigh, but also try to feel that work happening in the right oblique. And if you're feeling really fancy about your life, you can start to reach that right arm up to the ceiling, trying to kind of control the wiggles and wobbles that might be happening. Woo! Make sure you're not rolling onto that left butt cheek. You're on that left hip bone. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold. down. And make sure someone's mic is not on. Okay, mute all. Okay. All right, you're all quiet now. I don't know what just happened. All right, okay. So once you are lying down all the way, just take a second and then flip onto your belly for me. Whew. Once you're flipped onto your belly, I just want you to bring your arms to like this goalpost position with your palms facing down. Your hands are kind of in line with your head, and then your forehead is all the way down the mat. Just take a second to press your pubic bone down into the mat and then find some external rotation with your toes pointing out to the sides. And then I just want you to start to feel the belly floating up off of the mat. You're gonna press into your hands, start to lift the chest up to find a tiny little baby back extension, keeping the forearms down on the mat. And then slowly release back down. Exhale, slowly lifting up. And then slowly coming back down. As you're doing this, think about the back of your neck staying nice and long. So maybe you give yourself that same little double chin, just so that you're not craning and looking forward. And then see how little you can press into the hands and into the forearms. Let's go for 3 more. Last 2. And then lift up and hold. Love it. All right, pull the shoulders down your back. Press your pubic bone down into the mat, and then see if you can lift the ribs off of the mat 1 more inch. From here, you're gonna reach your right arm up in line with your ears, and then your left arm up in line with your ears. All right, so you're just taking this little Superman position. From here, I want you to bend the elbows back like you did while you were lying down on your back, so that you're pinching the elbows back towards your waistline. Shoot the arms back out, lower your head all the way down. So now we're gonna lift all the way up, bend the elbows, reach the arms long, lower back down. If you feel any agitation happening in the low back, don't lift up as high. This is about your abs. Your abs will control your spine, your spinal erectors, and your beautiful, beautiful shoulders. You guys have 5 more. Like we're taking flight. And 4. Last 3. 2. Woo. Last 1. Ooh, and then just bring your hands, slide them back underneath your shoulders. Press all the way back and find a child's pose here. Rounding the forehead all the way down and letting your back really kind of cave up to the ceiling, really doming out the spine to alleviate any tension that final extension brought. 3 breaths in here. 2. And then last one. You're gonna slither forward and come to all 4s now. Turn around, I'm sorry, I keep disco dancing around. All right, so hands underneath your shoulders, pull your belly in, and then you're gonna find a little bit of a serratus push-up, how I always like to start. You're gonna pinch your shoulder blades together, and then you're gonna press your shoulder blades apart. Just to get out any sticky moments that might be happening in the shoulder girdle. Good. As you press the floor away, hug your abs up and in. Let's go for 3 more. Last two. And then last one, press your shoulder blades wide and then hold. From here, you're gonna think about hinging your shoulders slightly over your fingernails. You're gonna shoot the elbows back towards your waist as you find a tricep dip. You're trying to tap your forehead in front of your fingers and then press back up. You don't actually have to tap the forehead, just however low down you can go. I'm not good at these ever, so I usually have like 3 solid forehead taps in me, and then I'm like, cutting that range of motion in half. Let's go for 8 more. Keep showing the inside of your elbows forward. This is 6. Also make sure the butt isn't going like back over your calves. It's staying right on top of your knees. Cheers. Yes, Ellie. 4. Shut up. And 3. Last 2. Last one, and then I want you to bend down halfway and then hold and breathe. Hug your abs in. We're just gonna hold this little bend for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, get off of your arms. Stretch yourself back. Take a child pose. Whew. All right. You're going to turn yourself around. You're going to slither down onto your right side. We're going to go for that sideline work again. Here we are. Good. So prop yourself on your right hand, lying down. Step your left foot in front of your right knee. You can grab that left calf or shin. And then you're going to start to float your right leg up and then lower it back down. Pointing or flexing the foot, whatever makes you feel more connected to that inner thigh. And then again, see if you can square that left hip a little bit more far forward. Make sure you're not rolling back onto that right butt cheek. Let's go for 5 more. 4. Also, it's kind of nice to press into that cross leg in front, press into that heel just to kind of stabilize your body. Last 3, 2, and then last one. Lift up and then hold. And then from here, you're going to take that little circle, size of a penny. Cha-cha. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Reverse the circles. Woo. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift up and hold. Tiny pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift and hold. You can't have a cute butt without cute inner thighs. Breathe. Lift up 1 more inch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Oh! Reach the top leg long, so thread both legs long, and then lie down on your right bicep if you're not already. We're gonna do those oblique crunches. So left fingertips in front to start. Lift of the belly up and in. Exhale, float your legs up and off of the mat. Inhale, bring them back down. Let's go for 8. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift and hold and breathe, of course. I'm so sorry, I didn't give our little advancement. If you want to reach that left arm up, go for it. For 5, 4, 3, Take your strap if it's nearby. We'll take a little inner thigh stretch. So flip onto your back. And then just cross, let's put the left thigh and the left foot in first. So put the left foot into the strap, holding on to the sides. If you don't have a strap, just bring your hands behind your leg for a second. And then you're just gonna start to bend and stretch that left leg. We haven't done a whole lot of hamstring work, so maybe this won't feel as sensational as normal per se. And then keep that left leg straight up to the sky. If you'd like to stretch that right leg out long, go for it for a little bit deeper of a stretch. You're gonna start to let that strap come into both straps come into the left hand. Let the left leg open. And then reach that right arm out to the side to kind of stabilize you. And then just breathe into that left inner thigh. And then whenever I'm doing this stretch, my left butt cheek and quad start to grip. And so I always seriously like think about releasing it for a second. For some reason, I really have to concentrate on releasing that leg down. And then just take some breaths and let your exhale sink you a little bit heavier into the ground. And then using your hands and your abs come through center with that leg. And while we're here, let's do a little IT band stretch. Tilt your toes to the right and let your leg start to cross the body, but keep the left hip reaching down towards the floor. So sickling the left foot, but keeping the hip down. All right, come back to center. Switch legs, so put the right foot in, lengthen the left leg down, and since we've literally just worked this leg, it might be a little bit more, might be a little bit more spicy of a stretch. So start to just bend and stretch that right leg for a few breaths. Letting the hip lengthen away from your face every time you straighten that leg up. And then holding that straight leg, start to open it out to the right, woo! And then you can reach that left arm out to the left just to anchor your body down to the mat. If your hip starts to pull up, that's fine. I mostly just want you to feel like that right quad and that right glute are nice and squishy. And then come back through center. Ooh. And then tilt the toes to the left, take an IT band stretch. Let the right hip sink down as the shin crosses over the midline of the body. All right, come back to center. And then take that strap off, just come all the way up to seated. And then go ahead and flip into a kneeling position. And then you're gonna take that strap. I'm gonna double mine so that it's not too long. And then you're going to take an underhand grip. Yes, an underhand grip with it. We've done this before if you've ever taken a strap class. So I'll just angle towards you a little bit. So it's kind of like you're holding a tray, except the tray is your strap. And so the pinkies and the pointer fingers are all in the same plane. So make sure that you're not like rotating at all. And then from here, I just want you to start to pull the strap apart, squeezing the biceps in towards the rib cage. And then you're just gonna start to reach that strap forward and then squeeze it back into the waistline. And if you're not comfortable sitting back on your heels like this, we're gonna get moving in a second, but you can always prop up off of it if it's not feeling good on your feet or your ankles. And then just to make it a little bit more dynamic, you're gonna start to pull the strap apart as you reach the strap forward. And then you're just gonna soften that pull apart as you bring it back in. So reaching and pulling, releasing to bend back in. And then we're gonna start to add the lower body into it. So you're gonna lift your hips up as you pull the strap apart, and then bend the knees, bend the elbows. So a lot of things happening every time you reach those arms forward. You're feeling the hamstrings lifting you up. You're feeling the abs pulling up and in so that you don't face plant. And then obviously feeling the shoulders, the biceps, the triceps. And then also feeling the glutes, right? So every time you lean, every time you hinge down, think about a slight lean of your chest forward like so. Because if you stay like this, you're not gonna feel your butt as much. If you lean forward, you'll feel your ass cheeks burn up. Your ass cheeks. Let's go for 4 more. You're in control of your tension, right? The more you pull that strap apart, the more you'll feel it. Last 3. Last 2. Good, last 1. Now we're gonna reverse that pull. So you're gonna pull as you bend it in, you're gonna release as you reach forward. So pull the strap apart, hinge, release to reach. As you pull that strap apart, guys, think about elbows pulling towards your midline, thumbs and pointer fingers pulling away. Let's go for 4 more. 3. Last 2. Good. And then next time you reach forward, pause. You're gonna take tiny little pulses out. So as you can see, you can't see necessarily the strap moving, but you can see my arm muscle kind of bulging. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the pull apart. You're gonna bicep curl, oh my gosh, and then extend. So pulling the strap apart as you bend, holy shit, and then extend. Hug your abs in. Let's go for 5 before we rest. 4. Last 3, pinkies wrapping up to the ceiling. Last 2, you're just gonna pull the strap in, pull the strap apart, bend the elbows and hold. Breathe for 5. Pull 1 inch further apart with those hands for 4. Last 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, release that. Take a second. Okay, what a life we lead. So just staying in your seated position for a second, cross your right arm across your chest. Good. You can melt your left ear to your left shoulder to get a little extra trap action. And then switch. Left arm across the chest, drop it down. You can lean the right ear to the right shoulder. Okay, we'll go back to that in a second. Take the strap off to the side. And then you're gonna sit on your butt. Okay, you're gonna stack your arms like a genie. I dream of genie. And then you're gonna have your knees like, actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. You're gonna reach your arms forward, so palms facing each other. So I'm gonna have my knees bent because I wanna really feel my sits bones every time I lift up. Dig your heels down into the mat. You're gonna start to tuck your tailbone and roll back so that just the butt crack and the sacrum is on the mat. Take a breath in, exhale, pull the abs in as you roll all the way up, sit up nice and tall. So exhale, tuck and roll back. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, belly pulls you in to lift back up. And then if this starts to feel weird for your low back, I've also been experiencing some low back pain lately, you can take a ball or a pillow and just wedge it behind your ass as you keep going. Otherwise, you don't necessarily need it. Let's go for 4 more. 3. 2. And then you're gonna lower back halfway and hold. From here, just take a breath in, take a second to tuck your tailbone a little bit more underneath you. You're gonna start to exhale, bring one leg into tabletop, bring it back down, other leg into tabletop. So you're taking a little march. Good. And then while you're doing this, see how still you can keep the chest, the upper body, by just maintaining that deep core connection. Let's go for 3. Last 2. All right, everyone meet me with your right leg in tabletop. Dig down through your left foot, stabilize your pelvis. You're gonna start to float your left arm up towards the ceiling. Bring it back down. Yeah, finding that cross body connection. Arm goes up, it comes back down. Let's go for 5. Woo, 4. 3. 2. Last one. Bring the foot down, roll all the way up to seated. Bring the soles of the feet together. Just sit up nice and tall for a second to stretch out your low back. All right, we're gonna go right back down. Arms forward, knees bent, feet flex, roll back. You're gonna start with that march again. So exhale, lift one leg, bring it back down. Exhale, other leg. Good, and then see if your shoulders are starting to hike up and try to slide them down. You don't need any more neck tension in this world. So enough of it. Let's go for 3. Last 2. And then you guessed it, you're floating the left leg up and hold, tuck the tailbone a little more. All right, right arm goes up, it comes back down. Let's go for 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. You're gonna stay in the C curve. If you need to come out of it, take a second. You're gonna see if you can float both legs into your tabletop. So you're in like a teaser prep and hold. If this is not the vibe, bring the feet down. Otherwise, start to lift both arms up, both arms come down. If your hip flexors feel really cranky, you can see I'm opening my knees. I always feel cranky when I'm doing this kind of stuff. Let's go for 6. 5. 4. Woo, last 2. Last 1. Oh my gosh. All right, come all the way up. Go ahead and cross your legs. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Hinge forward. And then you're just gonna round your chin towards your shins. Chin to shins. Take 3 deep breaths in here. 2. Good, and then you're gonna roll yourself right back up to seated, and then we'll take the strap for just a little stretch for a second before we finish with some planks, of course. So you're gonna take your strap, you're gonna hug it around the soles of your feet, and then you're just gonna pull, so choke up onto it with your hands, and then pull your feet towards your chest, pull your chest up to the ceiling, and then let this, it's a full body stretch. You're lengthening out of the low back, you're letting the strap pull your shoulders down away from your ears, and then you're letting those hamstrings get a little stretch as well. Just stay here for 3 deep breaths, getting as, honestly, as like tall and straight as you can. And then I want you to start to bend the elbows towards you as you fold your chest forward. And then you're gonna inhale, slowly roll back up to seated, find your arms straight. So bend the elbows, hinge flat back forward until you round, and then you're gonna roll back up. And if you're getting a little stretch here as you keep going, you can just start to choke up onto the strap a little bit more. Whew. Last two. And then last one. All right. Place that strap to the side. Flip onto all fours. We're gonna start with a little plank sesh. So start with, we're gonna start on the hands. So have your hands right underneath your shoulders. You're gonna step your left foot back, step your right foot back. If you need to ever drop the knees down for any of these, that's fine. Otherwise, keep those legs hovering. We're gonna go for some shoulder taps to start. You're gonna tap your right shoulder with your left hand, bring it down, left shoulder with your right hand. And if you want to be like really deliberate about that alignment, see how little you can lean the hips from side to side. Even if that means you slow it down a little bit, that's fine. This isn't necessarily about reps, it's about control. Let's go for 10. This is 9. Last 8. 7. Last 6. 5. 4. Last 3. 2. Last set. Hips go up, find a downward dog. Press the floor away, let your back flatten. Bend your knees, lift the heels up high, and then let the heels drop as your hips go up again. So let's try that again. You're gonna bend your knees, lift the heels, lift the hips, drop the heels. Just give me 3 of those. Bend the knees, lift the heels, straighten the legs, drop the heels. Last 2. Last 1. And then from here, you're gonna roll forward, come down onto your knees. Okay, we're preparing for some forearm planks now. The end is near, you can taste it, we can smell it. Forearms down. You can either have hands touching or make it a little harder. You can have the hands parallel. And then tuck your toes coming into a forearm plank. From here, actually, you know what? You're gonna have to bring the hands to kind of touch in that triangle shape. Lift the heels, you're gonna pike your hips up to the ceiling, and then you're gonna lower back down into your plank. So hips go up, heels are high, roll forward into your plank. Like a pike to plank, lifting the heels makes it harder because it means your low abs have to lift your ass higher. Physics. Didn't like it in high school, now I use it for Pilates. Let's go for 6. 5. 4. Last 3. Into, we're just gonna hold our plank. Last one, find your forearm plank and hold and breathe for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Bring your knees down. Press your hips back, find a child's pose. One last breath in your child's pose. Down to the floor. And then go ahead and roll yourself up, and then we're just gonna finish in a cross-legged position. Time flies, right? So cross-legged position, sits bones grounding down, and then go ahead and grab your strap. So you're gonna take like a wider than shoulder grip distance on your strap, and then just reach it up to the ceiling. And then I want you to kind of lift your chest up to the sky, and then you're gonna start to bring the strap forward round the chest. This is a stretch for the back and the shoulders. Inhale, you're gonna lift up. Exhale, you're gonna round. If you have a TheraBand, this feels even better with a TheraBand. I don't have a TheraBand, but if you have one, go crazy. Go crazy. And then next time you lift up, you're gonna bend the strap back behind your head. reach the strap back up, round forward. So dancey, yeah? This is a great way to release your traps. You know, these big old muscles that get hiked up along the shoulders and along the neck. Instead of necessarily doing some like fascial release, it's kind of nice just to let them mobilize, and that'll start to let them crawl down your back away from your ears, which is what, again, we all need. Over just 2 more. Okay, and then meet me with your arms up to the ceiling. I'm gonna take a slightly wider grip on that. You're gonna take a side bend up and over to the right, and then come up through center, up and over to the left. Stretching out the obliques, the lats. Woo. And then come back to center. Strap is officially done, bring it down. Just bring your hands down and then walk them out away from your body so that you're on like the fingertips. Nod your chin down to your chest, and then we're gonna finish with just some neck rolls, head rolls. And then reverse. And you guys are all done. What a blast. I'm drenched. So thanks for hanging out. Again, oh, in case you didn't see, I made a Pilates Instagram because I want to stop posting Pilates things on my personal account. So if you guys want to follow that, go for it. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. I love all of you holistically and individually. Have a good rest of your week. Bye. Bye, Bettina. Bye, Allie. Bye, Shannon.